Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Luna? You having a good morning? Excuse me, Luna. You're a big girl. I don't want to try to step over you. That could be fun. Not. Well, as you can see, still a little overcast. We had quite a bit of rain yesterday, and we continue to have a nice rainy spring, which we really, really needed because we haven't had enough rain through the winter. So we're appreciating refilling some of the lakes, get us going. I'm gonna take a sip of some hot coffee as Luna tries to wrangle her balls. She's got two this morning, which is unusual for her. She usually has one, which she can easily manage, but uh, I threw one at her and she tried to catch it in the air and she popped it with her mouth and knocked it over to our neighbor. Yeah, he's used to it. He sees them and throws them back. So now she's got two. She's having a wonderful day. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Uh, so let's talk a little bit about AIs having problems. And I ran into these two scenarios recently with two different, one an AI expert that I follow, and another guy who's a business professional who is fascinated with AI from a entrepreneurial perspective, but he also had a scenario. So the first guy, he had cases where uh, the AI got things wrong. And so the scenario that he talked about was actually a scenario that was presented by another lady where she asked the AI, if you have a container that has 12 gallons and you have a container that has 6 gallons and you need to measure out 6 gallons of water, how can you do that with these two containers? Well, you and I know you just use the 6 gallon container. So, simple solution, right? Not so much. Not for the AI. The AI had a horrible time. And the other guy, who's a prompt specialist, he was able to reproduce the error with ChatGPT. Now, he said that that's one of the things that's problematic right now is that the AI can give answers that are inaccurate and wrong. So you have to check them right now. They're they're sometimes brilliant, but then they have excuse me. Sometimes they have answers that are just uh I don't want to say third grade because my daughter is a third grade teacher. Third grade level kids could answer the things more accurately than they do. So in his scenario, he excuse me, pardon me. He had this like I said, he replicated it. So in that same chat stream, he put in a prompt. In the prompt, he said, "You are an engineering consultant. Please review your response and see if you can find any way to improve it." And when he put that prompt in, the AI looked at its own response and said, it appears to have gotten confused by the fact that you gave it two containers when one container should not have been used at all. The 12-gallon container was irrelevant. The answer to the solution was simply to use this 6-gallon container, which is the correct response. So it was able to figure out why it was wrong. It just didn't do it when it had the original response. It didn't check its work, in other words. So mysterious, right? But important to understand. This is why I want to encourage you and anybody else that's interested in AI to get really good at the prompts, because this guy knew how to pull a little bit more from the prompt. Um, the other thing that the entrepreneur saw, his name's David Sachs, and he's active on social media and doing some podcasts. He does some writing and stuff like that, as well as investing in companies. So he was asking Bard about his what does David Sachs, he didn't say him, but what does David Sachs believe about the Ukrainian war? And Bard got it pretty inaccurate. Um, Several things that were inaccurate in it. In fact, some of the things that was mentioned by a friend of his was actually attributed to David Sachs as his his responses. So these are things that show you that there's flaws. There's significant flaws. Whoa, fuck. Sorry. You whacked everything. Thank goodness I have a heavy cup of coffee. You whacked it hard with her tail. But anyway, now if David had been the other guy, he would have wrote a prompt saying, "You're an investigative journalist. Can you review this information and see if it's accurate?" It probably would have found the holes and the misquotes. So keep those things in mind when you're working with ChatGPT. I'm sorry, Bard, ChatGPT, any of them, because those were two separate examples. One with ChatGPT, one with Bard. You need to cross-check your work, unless it's something you yourself can check. I've had it help me with coding, and the coding was stuff that I could check myself, and it did a pretty good job. I didn't have any flaws with. Well, the first time I used it, they had a flaw with one of the package they brought in was inaccurate, and I had another flaw with it. But that was the very first one. Every time I've used ChatGPT 4, it's worked right out of the box each time. Oh no, wait, it got another one wrong just recently. It used the wrong object type on a unit test, and I had to fix that. Minor, but yeah, there was an error, so I had to go fix it. So not 100%, but very helpful, very good, and it seems to be getting better and better. So anyways, I hope you have a wonderful morning. Luna's looking forward to a day with two balls. And I'm probably going to let her keep. Usually, what I do is I have her only have one because, like I said, she can manage one ball really easily. And she usually keeps up with it and doesn't lose it. However, the amount of rain we've had has made the ground really muddy. And so, if I throw her stuff, she will probably track in a huge amount of mud into the house. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave her with two balls, and that'll kind of entertain her because she'll be trying to keep up with them until we get at least some break in the weather. And It's drier out here. So we will see what happens. She's having a blast. All right. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you later.